Yo, we have an interesting video today. BBLs are leaving their natural habitat and something is off. Let's check this out.
I didn't know how to describe it, but now I do. BBLs look like club outfits that you can't take off.
Why do you have a BBL?
It's like a club outfit you can't take off.
Oh, and you work at T-Mobile.
I just feel like
Facts. Why you have BBL walking at Timo?
BBL at 8 a.m. That's just too early.
BBLs don't really look good in a natural setting. Like, they don't really match the energy of the world.
It's such a life-altering experience when you see a BBL casually in like Target. Like, oh, mamas, what are you doing here?
There's a growing
Oh, so happy people are talking about this shit because, man, the BBL era right now is insane. Like, you see types and shapes and someone like they were molded with bricks form or something. Damn, terrible shapes BBL we see these days, bro.
conversation online about something people are starting to notice in the light of day.
Seeing a BBL in public feel like seeing a Cybertruck on the road. Cause like that ain't normal to see. Especially during the day. Like it should be like a nighttime thing only, right?
And we've discussed time and place multiple times. Time and place for specific outfits, time and place for certain behaviors.
For real.
I never thought we'd come to a day where time and place would apply to a body.
BBL should never see broad daylight. I just couldn't have a BBL because what do you mean I could no longer be a teacher? I can't work at a grocery store. They said that got BBLs, they can't live in Colorado because what the is a BBL doing in Colorado?
And this is very new to me because the human body has never really been something that needed a proper setting. But now it seems that expectation.
A BBL in Minnesota is crazy in Minnesota. Cause why you got a BBL in Colorado? Damn, people are mean, bro. I saw a BBL at the zoo at 1 p.m. once. Damn.
Is standard.
Why do y'all get a BBL to live in Nashville? You don't need it here.
Today, spotting a BBL in person is like seeing a shooting star. You know it exists, but when it actually shows up, it still kind of throws you off.
I just saw a BBL for the first time, like in person, and wow, I'm shocked. Like in a good way.
Seeing BBLs in real life will always be so fascinating to me. Oh my gosh, that's a BBL. Like, oh my gosh, that's a BBL. That is a real life BBL.
Why is nobody talking about what this woman just said?
You know what's getting people hired in 2026?
Wow.
And BBLs aren't a brand new invention that just dropped last week, but the way people react when they spot one outside of its natural habitat is very telling. Because what does that mean? Who decided that? And why does it feel so easy for people to agree on it without even thinking twice?
See, seeing a BBL in the wild is so odd. Seeing a BBL in the wild. BBL is everywhere now. It's not as expensive as it used to be.
Seeing it in a while is truly different.
And within all the talk, the naturally built, no appointment needed bodies are starting to feel that heat too.
I wish I could take my butt off and go to work. You know what I mean? Because like, this is just too much. I don't know. Like, it just don't feel right. That's why I always got this cardigan. I got so many cardigans. I'll be respectful.
But what if I told you this conversation really isn't about the body? First, we need to tap into what this type of body has been presented to represent, because once you see it, you'll get a better understanding on why the reactions are so strong. For years, the female body has been picked apart into pieces. And I don't mean that to sound morbid. It's really just to expose how certain features are isolated, emphasized, and made the main attraction, especially for financial gain.
What happens is the woman's body becomes hacked apart, dismembered in ads. So in ad after ad for all kinds of products, just one part of the body is focused upon. And this is, of course, the most dehumanizing thing you can do to somebody. Not only is she a thing, but just one part of that body is focused upon.
Now, there was one space where women could be ogled at, and it really just came with the territory, and that was the era where being eye candy was everything.
Throughout the music video era, we saw several transitions. We were growing as a culture.
In 2000, it became about the vixen.
We were the aesthetic. We were part of the fabric.
She had the curves, but she had the face. She had the attitude.
Women were getting paid like rappers.
I do want to note that at the height of the video girl era, the body was definitely a plus, but it wasn't.
Yeah, this is the era where they start putting girls, and you will not see a music video without a fine girl in it. And most times they will be half naked. This is the era. Early 2000s, this is the era where these things just went like poof. And it got to, I think it was like in the 2010s, probably late 2010s, and the BBL thing just went up there. Like you gotta get your body done and stuff like that.
Everything, okay, in the most respectful way. These women were really just expected to be human wallpapers. From all genres of music, women were expected to stand there, look pretty, and occasionally do a little shimmying to make the music video more attractive.
19 years old, you're being thrown a check and say, stand next to Lil Wayne. I dare you to say no. We made the video hot. We helped him sell records.
And you always want to see a pretty chick, you know.
I'm telling you, oh, and do you know how big Wayne was back then? Wayne had like a decade of being at the top of the rap game. So imagine they're paying a check to be in a Lil Wayne video. They're gonna take that check.
It's almost like a written rule that these women weren't there to take it all the way. Just be pretty, make the artist look like everything revolved around him.
The image of scantily clad women is supposed to affirm some image of masculinity, the man as the Mac, as this, you know, sexually powerful, virile example of manhood. And the idea is this man is so important and so powerful, and these women, conversely, are so dime a dozen that they don't matter. They're just eye candy. They're worthless.
But then eventually, everything started to revolve around that ad. Well, those curves.
They've gotten to a point where it's just basically just ass and titties on the camera. I don't think I've seen a video in a long time where women aren't shaking their butts. You know, it's like, it's a must.
And instead of just
Yeah.
keeping it at those curves, I should probably say that crack, because Nelly, in his prime, set a scene that made it obvious, making it very clear what you were supposed to be looking at and what that look meant.
A controversy surrounding rap artist Nelly led to an emotional meeting at Spelman College tonight. The discussion focused on hip-hop videos and how they portray women.
In the video, Nelly is seen swiping his credit card down a woman's backside.
I was very, very bothered.
They were paid though. I mean, it's not a good thing. They were paid for it and they did it. And this is when, probably when the butt became a big deal. You know, I guess gotta shake your butt. If you don't have ass, you're gonna need some ass to shake them. Damn, Nelly, I didn't know you had that part, that role.
The least about the video.
With lyrics that read, "It must be your act, cause it ain't your face," he completely shifted the narrative that video girls were just supposed to be a pretty face. And eventually, the expectation didn't even need to be said.
When Buffy the Body came out, it started this whole thing with you had to have a big butt. You cannot come after Buffy the Body and not have a butt her size or bigger.
We didn't just see these figures in the music videos. It seemed like right as the sun went down, beautiful, bootylicious women spawned. They were at the nightclubs, the strip clubs, they were model girls, they were arm candy, they were on the corner. Let's be honest, there was a specific build that came with being one of these women.
All the dances are about ass.
Is that not what a lot of rappers rap about these days? Oh, there's a lot of new rappers. This is mostly what they rap about. Money, ass, and sex. Titties might be in there too. That's just it. They're not even talking about nothing reasonable.
Too much.
Even though there's no studies to show that the fatter the ass, the more money the guy has. Nonetheless, it doesn't stop them from trying.
I seen girls with perfect bodies, in my opinion, they were like, no. I need to get more ass, I need to pump it up. And I'd be like, oh my God.
And without realizing it, that started to form a mental category in people's minds. Instead of...
And it's funny because men don't really like these BBLs, the way people think. Men don't like to keep BBL. We don't want to marry a BBL person. We want to mess with, a lot of men want to mess with that, but to marry, no. They don't want to keep that. They don't want to own that. Most men don't.
Just seeing these bodies, like it or not, they started to associate these bodies with a certain kind of environment. So, now that I painted that picture for you, you can imagine what happened when women outside of that environment started to desire the bodies that normally came with it.
I think music video changed the booty.
Oh, Berlin is wonderful. But
Era. When you look at music historically, there's always been songs that have celebrated more curvaceous figures.
There are certain actors and actresses in the media that are role models, and people want to look like their role model.
With the Nicki Minaj's and the K. Michelles, you're seeing like this super exaggerated version of the big butt.
Everybody thinks.
Yeah, they did something else, man. It's huge. Nikki, Kim Michelle, huge.
I've discussed the rise in plastic surgery many times, so we don't have to go too in depth with that. But we all know how deep it goes. With these surgeries becoming more accessible, celebrities and influencers getting them.
Look at Cardi here. Look at how it's almost like it'll fall off the bone, bro. Come on.
Becoming more accessible, celebrities and influencers.
Look at that. It's like it wants to fall the fuck off.
Influencers getting them, social media flooded with them, people
Not good at all.
advocating and promoting them.
Get the cosmetic procedure, get the BBL, get the lipo, get the filler, get the facial balancing, get the PRP. I don't care what it is, get the cosmetic procedure.
You're stupid to saying that, advising people to go get something. People don't understand how dangerous BBL actually is. I saw a video of a doctor, very good, well-known doctor, saying he does not do BBL surgery because he knows for a fact that when these women get old, it would really cause them big trouble, and it's not reversible at the time. So he's not touching that BBL. He's not doing BBL surgery.
Down a whole rabbit hole on these BBLs, right? Now look at the befores and afters. Let these girls get a BBL. I'm not even trying to be funny or nothing right now, but when I see the before videos, I'm like, it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. I'm glad you got that BBL.
It seemed like everywhere you looked.
It doesn't make no sense. Most girls that got BBL have very good normal natural ass anyways. They just wanted something for competition, which is dumb.
Online at least, everyone had something done.
Hey y'all, come with me to get a BBL at 19. It is surgery day.
I'm finished.
But why are 18, 19-year-olds out here getting BBLs?
There are still just too many people out here getting BBLs for this to have been the last we will ever see of it.
So we both see how normalized and popular BBLs
Well,
are, right? So if I see it,
the 19 and 20 years olds, they are following celebrities that have BBL. So what do you expect? They just want to make sure they can cross 18. They can be an adult. And mind you, your brain is not even fully developed at 18 or 19 or 20. It's at 25. And they just want to be legal. They just waiting to turn 18. And once they're legal, they jump into it.
you see it. Why does it still give wrong place, wrong time?
BBLs don't really look good in a natural setting, in real life, you know what I mean? Like, they don't really match the energy of the world, like on a regular day basis. Anything professional with a BBL, it doesn't really look good, you know what I mean? It looks like it's not supposed to be there.
Now we have
Facts.
social media reacting to these real life spottings of BBLs outside of their natural habitat in the wild. And people are seriously treating the women that have them like animals spotted outside of their cage.
A BBL and walking is crazy work. This shit about a cost.
How you gonna spend all that money to get some ass and you don't even have a car, bro? Just get you some cheap car and carry yourself instead of getting that ass and just fooling yourself, stressing your legs. Look at that.
Craziest BBL. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get a video, but I'm gonna try.
Oh my god, that was terrible. That is terrible. Look at that shit.
Imagine what
Hold on. Look at that shit.
Craziest BBL. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get a video, but I'm gonna try.
Look at how terrible it looks. It's hanging. Ah, the fuck.
And you can imagine what happens when family-friendly spaces are added to the mix too. If people feel uncomfortable seeing BBLs at a gas station, seeing them around their children creates an even bigger conversation.
But y'all don't see how weird and strange it is to have in a schoolhouse. Why do they have BBL teachers? I don't give a f. Y'all be like, oh, y'all judging these women? Yes, because why the f you gonna get a BBL, a fat, juicy ass stand and fight these kids.
I am not in support of
Makes no
people
sense.
filming
Look
up
at that.
to bullying people who obviously have these obvious figures.
Go ahead, say it again. Say it again.
But if y'all don't know what's happening in that video, basically them kids that you see in that video was walking behind a lady who has a BBL that they didn't feel was right. And they was just saying, these BBLs killing y'all. And she overheard them. So she decided to start recording them and asking them to repeat what they said. And was basically saying it's crazy because it's the young generation. It's even the kids that are being disrespectful towards people with their bodies done that are not appealing.
Just because somebody looks peculiar to you doesn't give you free range to lose your manners. But BBL slander is at an all-time high because when people see them in person, they feel
For real, look at this. You gonna call this BBL? This is a BBL? It looks like a ball was tight behind her. It doesn't look right at all. And look at her legs, how tiny they are to carry this shit. Come on, man.
And honestly, I don't even think people realize what they're feeling at first. It may just come across as bizarre before anything else because you've seen it before, just not here.
I work with nurses who have had BBLs and they walk around all day long just all in Mima's and Papa's face. They're knocking over the medication with the ass. Can't wrap up no bandages because
It's uncomfortable. Honestly, it's uncomfortable. You just imagine you're somewhere chilling and someone just comes by and just something, ass is shaking like it's someone's gonna fall off the bone. That's distracting and very uncomfortable.
Why are you in here with all that?
When something familiar shows up in an unfamiliar space, it throws a lot of people off. And people are starting to pick up on something else that they can't quite seem to put their finger on.
I feel like BBLs should only be for clubs. It's such a life-altering experience when you see a BBL casually in like Target. Like, oh, mamas, what are you doing here? You be at this section.
No, she's funny.
The bottle. I don't know. It's just like BBLs should only be like for the club aesthetic, right? Because I just feel like a BBL at 8 a.m. that's just too early.
Remember earlier when I said, and without realizing it, that started to form a mental category in people's minds. Well, today, those mental categories aren't staying in their minds. People are bold.
Yeah, BBLs should be for club, for strippers. That'll be fair. You're not gonna do BBL and then you go to school, primary school, you're teaching kids. What's that?
Online and saying this.
Don't shoot the messenger, but we can't tell regular women from sex workers anymore. We can't tell. We can't tell hookers, strippers, escorts, whatever you want to call sex workers. We can't tell sex workers from good, wholesome, regular women anymore.
Okay, let's just sit for a second because this is probably one of the hottest hot takes I have ever heard because now the conversation is looking a little different. Now people are assigning a role.
Were they supposed to work after a BBL? Always said that BBL equals clean heels. You need a certain profession to wear those.
That body. This has moved
Facts.
from you should only be seen in nightlife spaces to if you have it, you should be using it.
You know what I don't understand? Get this big ass BBL and don't want to twerk. Throw that shit. You at a party, twerk that butt off that back.
I mean, what's the point of the BBL if you can't use it right? That's why it's probably good for strippers, people who go to clubs and dance to the club.
Here's where the conversation gets a little more uncomfortable because now it's people turning those assumptions into expectations. They assign where the body should be seen.
You have BBL, stop working at the health field. BBL is not for every job. BBL are not for corporate America.
They assign what the body should be doing, and if you connect the dots, you'll quickly learn that the assignment doesn't just stop at twerking.
If you got a BBL and you ain't tricking, you stupid. That's what BBL's for. If you got a BBL and you don't have a OnlyFans and you ain't dancing and you ain't fucking in a car, you stupid.
BBLs is for tricking. I don't think y'all know that. The BBLs ain't for you go and go sit back on your job. You go get them BBLs and you ain't doing what you're supposed to do with them.
And I'm really shocked that people are boldly coming online and saying this, but are we really confused on how they got there?
If you're gonna get a BBL or breast job or both, make sure it relates to the type of work that you're about to do. I'm walking into establishments, I'm supposed to be buying a product. Now I want you because you ain't here looking like a damn video vixen.
Because when we trace it back, this didn't just appear out of thin air. This is coming from years of people seeing this exact body type in very specific context. So now when that same look shows up in everyday life, people don't separate the body from what they've been taught it represents.
BBLs will never give classy. They will never give classy, especially not the ones that the girls are buying. BBLs will always give, I sell it for a living. Like, okay, some girls get away with the skinny BBLs. When I'm specifically talking about, I'm talking about the girls with the thighs, those big, gigantic ghetto booties. They will never ever give classy.
When you have this,
Yeah, BBL can never be classy. Never be. Imagine you're trying to go for a corporate meeting and your ass is shaking like crazy. It can never be classy.
the body, it may subconsciously tell people something you may or may not be trying to say.
There is this stereotype with people that get BBLs and say, oh, you're getting BBLs because you're prostitutes, oh, you're getting BBLs because you're this, or you're getting BBLs because you want men. That is not true.
And it turns into this idea that once you
shut your stupid ass up. Why are you all getting the BBLs if it's not for attention? Where is that? Where are you getting the attention from? From men. Men are the one tricking on you. Men are the one throwing the money on you. So it's not, when I see someone say I got BBL for myself, or I do not accept that. That is a lie, because you're not admiring yourself. People look at you when you walk around and they be like, damn. And you know that you've seen that happen when another girl will be passed by. So now you go get your, it's for attention. Male gaze. So I don't like when women try to twist the shit.
Look, people feel like they already know something about you before you even speak.
If I'm looking for somebody that is going to be the mainstay, it's probably not going to be a woman with a BBL.
Facts.
Because I know that's mental illness, to let somebody crack your ass open, put some Air Jordan in there, and sew it back up. That is not a mentally stable woman. With BBLs crazy than mother. You can them all day long. I like looking at the BBL when they wash up in the sink.
And it's a stigma a lot of women don't want tied to them. A lot of them just want to look good for themselves, and I respect that. But we live in a society that doesn't always respect that. So now, not only is the internet telling you that if you have the body, you shouldn't engage with society, you shouldn't step out into the world until the sun goes down, but they're also saying that your body should be your entire lifestyle.
Why would you get a life-threatening surgery to then go work a minimum wage job? A BBL is supposed to be an investment in your looks, and that investment is supposed to get you higher in the social hierarchy, and it's a better paying job.
Now, to some women, BBL can be
That's why the whole BBL thing's a myth. It's stupid.
Upgrade their self-esteem, maybe put a band-aid over insecurities. But there's another layer to this that a lot of people don't realize. If you're upgrading your self-esteem, okay, just like how that booty got a lift, your environment, access, who you hang around, just your lifestyle in general, it seems needs to get a lift too.
In my head, if you have a BBL, that means that your life is paid for. I don't know why this whole time I've been under the assumption that if you go put yourself on the table knowing that you could possibly, that most of them, then whenever you wake up and you heal after 3 months, shouldn't you be rich now?
I thought a BBL was going to change my life. When I was selling clothing, I wanted to make sure that when I was modeling these clothes, I looked how I wanted to look in them. People are trying to emphasize like, oh, why would you think that unless you're in the nightlife, or you thought a man was going to, scoop you up, baby. It's never been a better man. In my mind, I was thinking that, body looks correct, more money for me and my business.
Now, that whole idea only works if you assume that having this body is sending a certain message, because it's not always doing that. The body alone is being taken as a signal, and that can get
If you're saying having a big butt brings in negative unwanted attention, why did you get it?
And paying to overly sexualize yourself.
BBLs are for sex workers and strippers.
That's exactly what these BBLs is doing to y'all. Y'all literally just asking for it at this point. And to get offended that a man want to come up and talk to you, knowing that your ass is sitting out abnormally from any other woman, is kind of crazy. It's kind of mental, actually. Like, you know what you're doing at the end of the day. You're not stupid. So you can't be mad at the attention that you're getting and that you're attracting. You asked for it.
My thing is, how can you come to this conclusion for the women who surgically look like this? Because it's starting to sound like you're saying any woman who's built like this is just asking for it. And I don't like that. It's such a tricky topic that I'm quite literally walking on eggshells about, because in theory, it makes sense why people associate and tie these type of bodies into that nightlife lifestyle. But then it's like, now you're basically saying that the women that have these bodies need to trick themselves out or be streetwalkers because of their bodies. And then what about the women who naturally have that body? Are we going to start calling them natural born strippers?
So, can we talk about how embarrassing it is to have a fat ass? Like, everyone wants one, stuff like that, and everybody loves one and wants to look at one, blah, blah, blah. But that's the point. I feel her there, and I know everybody, I can feel the eyes.
Because if we're saying that a body like this automatically comes with a certain lifestyle, then what does that mean for the women who didn't choose that lifestyle?
I'm trying to go to church, booty just big as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm at a formal event, booty just big as hell. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's just not formal. It's all fun and games till you actually thick. Like, you got people that know you as just having a fat ass. Hello, I do hair too. You know what I'm saying? I do good in school.
So now you have women who naturally look like this being placed into the same category.
Everyone keeps saying, I got the BBL. It's very obvious I never got one. When they accuse me of having a BBL, but I'm just Ghanaian. When I'm working and I see someone look at my booty.
Whether they asked for it
Not
or
every girl got a BBL,
it's
you know.
a different kind of pressure on women who didn't opt for this, but they're still being read the same way.
It's so annoying to walk around and everybody asking you, do you have a BBL, just because they feel like your natural booty don't fit your body. It's so annoying when you're trying to give like a classy look and your booty is so much bigger than your everything that it takes the attention away from what you're trying to give. I don't want everybody looking at me. I don't want everybody looking at what's behind me.
And with this body being so
But you got the procedure. I don't get it. How you get the procedure and the effects are coming in and now you're not saying you don't want it.
And wanted online, I will say I feel like the BBL gets an equal amount of love and hate, but it's one of the most loved, not to mention dangerous, but most loved surgeries out there. But in everyday life, it's recorded, questioned, and picked apart. So now you have a body that's the standard on your phone, but in real life, it's anything but.
The internet spent 10 years praising BBL bodies. Now it's judging the women who got them. Are we forgetting that there are people with natural big butt?
Standard.
So a few weeks back, me and my homegirls out there drinking and bar hopping, right? We having a good time. A pack of wild BBLs roll up, right? It was 4 of them. Now, these aren't the only bad BBLs we've seen all day, you know. So, whatever, they're everywhere. My friend's vlogging today, right? Later on that night, my friend is showing me the footage. Now, we've seen this in person. It didn't look like this, but everybody's body banging. We look like we partying with a whole bunch of bad, right? Is they building a filter into the BBL? Because that's not what we're saying.
That's why I truly feel like this conversation isn't really about the body. Well, of course it's about the body, but it's more than that. It's about what people think that body type represents. And I'm going to leave this conversation open-ended because I definitely would love to hear your opinions. I feel like it's a very layered topic with a lot of hot takes. I know a lot of people will see it in a different viewpoint, so I would love to hear your takes. Thank you for tuning into the Girl Talk You Didn't Know You.
Nah, that's a great video. Nah, for real, that's a good video, man. And people need to really realize this BBL is not another thing, bro. They are another thing. Like, I don't really see why people find it so attractive. All the stress you go through, and then people fail to understand that the people who can actually maintain this are rich people. What's the point of you getting a BBL and you work at McDonald's? You feed for, like, you live paycheck to paycheck and you go take your money, you take your savings to get a BBL. If you're a stripper or a sex worker, I can understand you having a BBL, but aside from that, what's the point? Even if you're a mother, I might get a little bit, but what's the point though? What's good about having your ass very big, which now shows like your legs are smaller, you cannot carry the ass and your upper body, and what's the point? It's just a dumb move. Y'all let me know what you think about this in the comments. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.